Out of the war in Ukraine, Russian officials say a Ukrainian airstrike damaged one of their naval ships in Crimea. 2 Ukrainian fighter jets were also reportedly destroyed during that attack. Now, this is the latest of multiple operations that Kyiv has launched around Russian-controlled Crimea in recent months. Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky congratulated the Air Force for the attack, crediting them with allowing navigation in the Red Sea to be restored. That, of course, plays a vital role for grain exports. CBS News Homeland Security and Justice reporter Nicole Sganga joins us now. Nicole, good to see you. How concerned is the White House about the debate in Congress regarding approval of more military aid for Ukraine?
Evan, good to see you. In a word, concerned. I mean, a grim reality that really set in here at the White House as Congress left for the holidays. Now, President Biden has said he is willing to compromise on border security in order to secure the Ukrainian funding. But, funding for Ukraine now hinging not on war-torn Donbass region, but in fact, what's happening on the U.S.-Mexico border. And we should note that we've not seen major bipartisan immigration reform really since the Reagan administration. Now, ahead of the holidays, the Department of Defense warning congressional leaders that remaining funding for Ukraine has been fully allocated, leaving Pentagon officials with very few options here. Of course, Democratic leaders also worried about what compromising with GOP lawmakers on the U.S.-Mexico border could mean for immigration reform, a pathway to citizenship, visa reform. Now, as the president returns from Camp David, he goes to St. Croix on holiday, and we should note that the Senate and House are not expected to return to Washington, D.C. to session until January 8th and 9th, respectively.
Yeah, real worry there for Ukraine, obviously. They're facing threats. But let's go to the Israel-Hamas war now. A member of the Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu's war cabinet is meeting with Biden officials in Washington today. What is the White House's message to Israel after warning them to stop escalating operations in Gaza? What are they saying now?
Yeah, Evan, today the meeting of Israel's Minister for Strategic Affairs, Ron Dermer, with Secretary of State Antony Blinken and National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan, a National Security Council spokesperson, saying that will be a face-to-face consultation that focuses on a number of matters related to Gaza and, of course, the return of hostages held in Hamas. Now, over the weekend, President Biden told reporters that he did not ask for a ceasefire in Gaza during his call with the Israeli Prime Minister. The White House, however, saying that the president did emphasize repeatedly the need to protect civilians in Gaza. And of course, this, as we're hearing from the Hamas-run Gaza Health Ministry, that says more than 20,000 Palestinians have died since the start of the war. And of course, more than 100 hostages captured in Israel still believed to be held in Gaza.
Okay, let's get to a key trade issue as well. There's a lot on the agenda here. The Biden administration declined to veto the U.S. International Trade Commission's ban on some Apple Watch imports. So why did it allow this ban to take effect?
Yeah, well, Evan, you will pardon the pun here, but the clock has ticked down on selling the latest Apple Watch here in the United States. The White House declined to issue a last-minute emergency action to keep it on the shelves. Now, at issue here, a potential patent violation concerning a feature that uses light-based technology to read blood oxygen levels in the latest Apple Watch. Now, the Biden administration had until the end of Christmas Day to overturn a ruling by the U.S. International Trade Commission. They declined to intervene, saying in a statement, U.S. Trade Representative Catherine Tai, that the decision came after careful consideration, but Apple has already pulled its watches from U.S. stores, but it has announced plans to appeal the decision.
Okay, everyone on the clock here. Nicole Sganga, appreciate that. Thanks so much.
Thank you.